All right, we should be good to go now.
All right, cool. You introducing us?
Yes. Welcome to Across Generations. As you can see, we're missing our usual host. Well, our usual cat here. We call him Papa, but
yeah, we missing 20 something.
Yeah, we missing our 20s.
You can't count on 20 something. That's
Right.
the whole problem with your generation. You can't count on you. You don't do Papa. I hope you're listening. You don't do what you say you're gonna do.
What is that? Gen Alpha? No.
I don't know what generation he is.
Please let's not start the meeting. Jesus Christ.
Generation Alpha, Beta, Sigma, whatever.
That's one of the generations that grew up with computer in hand.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, I was a full-fledged adult when computers came out.
Yeah.
And I had to learn at a time in my life when learning wasn't as easy as it was.
Man.
They learned computers at 1.
Yeah.
My grandson is 2. He walk around, navigate his little Samsung tablet better than me, and go through my phone, hit YouTube, and find what he looking for. I'm like, but that generation grew up with computers, and I don't know if they missed anything. Like look, a topic just came out of.
I was about to say typing. Like they don't know how to.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one part of the computers
But
they can't
thumbs.
do. Yeah, they thumbs.
That's
but when they get in front of a keyboard. Like they don't have that program. What was that program? Because you used to have it. That lady teaches you how to type.
The black lady.
Yeah.
What's it called? Oh my!
I have no.
I can't think of it.
Did it come with our computer? Like.
Oh, you had divided disc.
Oh my God!
I remember that.
We went to the same junior high school, right? You went to 238, right?
Yeah.
Okay, not at the same time. Like
She was in elementary when.
You remember? I went when I went to 238. They had inkwells.
What's that?
Now there's a young person out there saying, "What's an inkwell?"
Yep.
But anyway,
The feather.
do you remember
pen.
the typing room?
Yeah.
Where it was actually a room.
And we all had
Every desk had
typing.
typewriters,
Yep.
and it was the typing class.
That's crazy.
Oh God, what was? Because I know Evelyn Woods is the reading. It was something like that. Let's not get stuck on that.
Yeah,
But anyway,
get stuck.
it was typing. I mean, a lot of things have changed. Like even the
What happened to speed reading?
like they don't teach. Like my son is 23, right? They never taught him to write in script.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They took that out of school.
I think it's coming back because these kids can no longer sign a signature or anything of that nature.
Yeah, because they took it. Like they taught us how to do it, but they never made us actually write paragraphs or nothing in it.
Yeah.
We just learned enough to sign to
Sign
be
the
able to
signature.
sign our name. Yeah, sign our signature.
But I could teach you that at home.
I showed a young lady. She said it says signature. I said, yeah. Well, I don't know how to do that. So her S looks nice. I said you can use this S, and then I just wrote it out, and I said keep copying this.
It's just get a pattern.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, if you look at my signature, if you don't know my name, you still may not know my name.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Because
make
after a
out my
while, I
signature.
just kind of.
Yeah, I had someone point that out to me. Like
when I was younger, just from getting hit in the hand and a ruler, I was very clear on my lettering, so you could actually read.
that was one thing I did until one of my friends pointed out to me, like, why are you drawing your name? I was like, what do you mean? No, I'm signing. No, just, why are you drawing it? And that's when I got into the habit of trying to do
because
it.
It needs to be unique to you.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point of it. But across generations, we like to attack topics like this, where every generation has a different point of view. So today we're not across generations, we're across genders. As the lovely Miss Dawn sits in.
Yes.
My man Papa, missing in action. I'm going to find you,
Papa.
sir. I'm going to find you. We'll straighten this out. You want to start being more proactive on the text. That's your generation that started texting. Answer the damn text.
He's the one who came up with WhatsApp for us to use, wasn't it?
I don't know. Because you got an Android. That's the problem.
Don't hate. It's all right. It's okay. If y'all just want to be running on outdated technology, that's okay.
It's all right, Vlad.
Y'all can keep using SMS if y'all want to.
Shy guy.
I'll work on getting another camera later so it can point at me so we can switch.
Have a split screen.
Split screen, or me being able to switch between screens when I speak. So I'll figure that out later.
I mean, if we do that, I'm gonna do mine from home.
Right? Just
split
I got you. I can probably do that. Get you on your laptop. Just all right. See, if you I might have to get Homeboy a laptop.
But they got an app called House Party where you can do video chat.
Oh, for real?
Okay.
I was just
So
thinking
It's
maybe
like a
Zoom or
It's almost like a
something.
Zoom, but it's called house party.
Yeah, so when you
I think you was telling me
not
that
business,
you telling us about that
it's
before.
Yeah, and I think you can record it.
Okay,
on your
that'd be
phone,
good.
So yeah,
So that way, if there's a time we all can't get together, we can just.
be like ESPN. You have me sitting in your living room, so I got to get me a little section.
All right. So is that off camera what we were talking about? Is that what y'all want to discuss?
I mean, we can. I don't care.
All right, because now we had watched a video woman speaking about how women aren't raised to be housewives or wives in general, I guess, or wives.
Let's clean that up.
Yeah, I was about to say housewives. Let's see, wives in general.
You got to remember, the person sitting at home has the time to dissect everything you say, and our conversation is organic. We don't usually decide what we're going to say or do. We just kind of start talking.
Right.
So the way I interpret it was, which I think will make for a good conversation, is the mothers of my generation in their 50s, 60s and 70 babies don't necessarily, I don't want to blame them, but the kids we birth don't necessarily value home economic skills. I remember being in junior high school and high school, and they had home economics. And they taught you how to cook, how to clean, how to sew, how to iron, and things of that. So I'm not asking any woman to be a stay-home mom or housewife or be the domestic expertise for the house. But I think the 20-something generation now, the women, I'm not sure they all find value in learning those skills. And then is my generation culpable for not pressing that? Like, I only know how to go out and eat. I mean, can I make rice? Can I make a steak? I mean, can I make a meatloaf? Can I fry chicken, fish?
Do you think economics has anything to do with that over the years of women?
Hold on, into the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry, of women having to actually.
It's strong. Pull it to you.
Right?
I got a bunch of jokes right now.
I know what's going on in my head.
But what I'm going to do is pause. Don't be scared of the mic. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. We are good friends. I don't want you to
know me. Y'all already know what's going on in my head.
Yeah, we're good friends. I could play with her like that. Maybe I shouldn't do it on camera though. Continue, Miss Dawn.
But as far as women having to be sole providers, do you think that has something to do with it, with our generation?
That's interesting.
Coming up, having to be out of the house working, putting our kids
single moms.
Single moms.
Like, I ain't got time to teach you to cook.
Yes, because when I come home, I mean, there was a time in my life when, after my divorce and I had my 2 sons, where I was working, and this was in New York, and I actually had to take, it was off Casino Boulevard, so the bus down to the Ave, you know how women are anyway, the bus down to the Ave, and then another bus to get to the school they attended, because it had the PAL program, which kept my oldest after school, and I had a daycare that was an extended day, and I picked them both up at 6. So this way, in order to do that, it had to be in that area of Murdoch over there. So I was coming from Casino all the way down to Murdoch, and then after I dropped them off, I had to take the bus.
That's interesting. I think that's when we reconnected too. When you was living off of Casino. I don't know how that happened. Sure somehow I remember you were
that party.
Right. The Christmas party for my job. Where you were interloper there. You were not part of our union. You had no business there.
The best parties ever.
The union party, right?
Post New Year's Eve party. Yep. Best parties ever.
And so, question for you. Just to keep this is I have to always keep you on point. So you have sons. Did you teach them how to cook?
Yes.
Larry, did your mother? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, to an extent.
Vlad.
To an extent, Larry makes hamburgers hamburgers. Larry didn't want to know. Like Larry,
I make a mean bowl of cereal.
So you didn't really.
Nah, it's I only took like into the dishes I liked. I was like, show me how to make these.
Okay, which
so
would be
like mostly like hamburgers. Like,
spaghetti, stuff like that. But the thing was,
hamburger over pasta.
But I think with Larry, because Larry was the second born, now my eldest,
that man's a chef.
And ran with it.
He can cook.
Yeah, he can cook.
Oh my God, Alvin can cook.
He making stuff now
you're the
outside
same
of our
person,
culture.
Right?
Like,
But see, here's the interesting part. You're the same person, right? That your two sons at the time grew up in the same house. One took to learning the culinary skills or home economics, and one didn't. Larry just wanted to learn enough to survive.
Yeah.
I won't starve if I'm living by myself. But Al went all the way in.
And I think it's because he was the eldest. Because Larry, Albie took charge. Like, okay, if mommy not here to cook, I'm gonna cook.
Okay, I'll give you that. So if this is a stretch, if Larry was Lorraine, you think you would have pressed him more to be in charge of the cooking?
Probably.
Even though he was the second, she would have been the second born.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'm just wondering, like,
because I learned, my mother forced me to sit down. Well, not literally sit down, but no matter what I was doing.
She saw value in it.
Yeah, you come in here, you're gonna learn how to clean these collard greens. You're gonna learn how to.
Right.
And I know a lot of people gonna go up on this. You're gonna learn how to clean these chitlins.
Oh, God.
You're
and it's a crazy
learn,
thing.
and how to cook.
I used to eat chitlins.
Oh my God, me too.
So in my head, I'm going, it's so taboo now to even say that out loud. Like, oh, you nasty. The comments are going to be crazy.
Only reason I don't eat chitlins is because I hate cleaning chitlins.
Well, I've never cleaned them.
I don't eat them.
You got to remember, my mom and dad,
but it's some
born in the
chitlins
30s,
hog maws
like
put together. Oh my God, with some potato salad.
Well, you got to remember our parents, right? I think my mom and dad is probably older than your mom. My mom is born in 31. My dad is born in 34, making my mom a cougar. That's almost 100 years ago. Yeah. Just think about it. We ain't that far from 2030.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my parents were born in Tennessee, both on a farm. And they grew a lot of their own stuff and their own chickens, their own eggs, their own pigs. And so they hunted. Like my dad would eat raccoon. It like it's just weird the stuff they eat, but they come from a generation where that was normal.
Right.
So now, fast forward to now, we talk about being young, eating chitlins, because most of our parents were older from the South, and they ate chitlins. So what did we eat? Whatever mom and dad cooked. Yeah. Now with certain stuff I wouldn't eat. Like my beef was okra. I don't know what it is about okra. I can't.
Not boiled okra. I can eat fried okra.
Fried okra I became better at.
Yeah,
but I was traumatized by the other okra.
Yeah, with the slime. I couldn't eat that
like a green slug. But so my thought is, and I guess this is the evolution of food. Fast food is so easy to get now. So if you're a single parent and you come home from work and the kids need to eat, I could DoorDash them. I could stop in the Chinese restaurant. I could stop here. The food is so easy to get.
Even the food that we make as a culture, like we can just step out and get.
And that's what I was getting to. So on the way home, now I had to do everything in reverse. I had to take the bus to get to the schools by 6, pick y'all up, and then it took 2 buses to get home. Now it's 6 o'clock.
And how old are they when you busing this?
Larry was in preschool, so he wasn't even in kindergarten yet.
All right, so he's like 3, 4.
Yeah, about 4. And Albie's in 1st grade.
So how much older is Al than you?
Al's only like a year and a half.
It's like it's like
About 18
Irish
months?
twin thing.
Almost
Yeah,
Irish
18
twins?
months.
Almost,
Yeah.
yeah.
Almost Irish twins.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So
Is that a racist thought?
no.
What, Irish twins?
Irish
Yeah.
twins, no.
I don't think so.
Well, it comes
why
from
not?
the Irish. I don't know what they were doing over there. It's just something we say.
Well, they say they had a lot of kids
Okay, well.
and they had them quick.
Okay, well. And that's
So
what I
it's-
did. And that's what everybody else is doing. So.
I'm not against it. I'm just wondering. Like, put it this way: there's a phrase. They don't use it as much as they used to, but there's a phrase that they used to use. Hey, yo, you jit me.
Oh.
Remember that? People used to say, "You jit me."
I still say it.
Now, oh, yo, he jipped me out of my money. That literally comes from gypsies.
Yeah, gypsies? Oh,
Gypsies.
Yeah, okay.
Gypsies,
Yeah.
and the gypsies, you know, they would kind of go around the land and sell stuff, and they would kind of swindle you out of your
Yeah.
money, like a snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
So they used to say, "Yo, he gypped me. He beat me out of my money like a gypsy." So it's really it's kind of a culturally.
I got
It's a culture. I don't want to say racism because race is race.
Well,
It's a cultural bias.
It's hold on.
okay.
The term,
So you can't say that anymore?
The term Irish twins refers to one mother having two children who were born 12 months or less apart. It originated in the 1800s as a way to poke fun at Irish Catholic
That's what I'm
immigrant
saying. I know it's-
families
it's a
who
cultural-
didn't have
it's
access to
cultural slander.
birth control.
I know it's cultural slander. It's almost like somebody saying, "Go ahead with that N-word behavior." Come on, that's a culturally biased thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, here you go with this N-word business. I used to say that all the time, and it's like you know what I'm saying when you. But why are you associating that behavior with that person? So why are you associating having babies within 12 months of each other with the Irish people? It gotta be a
Little
joke.
spark of truth to it.
Well, every
Every
the best, what's the word I want to use? The best stereotypes have truth to it. Black people like fried chicken and watermelon. I love fried chicken and watermelon. Now, would I sit in front of a bunch of people and eat it? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? But I like watermelon. Don't you like watermelon?
I love watermelon.
You like fried chicken?
I love it.
Okay.
But I think that
You like
term,
collard greens?
I think that came
You like
from,
watermelon? So there's a basis of truth to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they're poking fun at you, that's the easiest stereotype to press
But then it
forward.
starts. What is it? It really came from when
I think
we
it
used to
came-
go to the trains and sell chicken. fried
Yeah,
chicken
and
stuff
yeah,
like
you'll
that.
see us
And
with
biscuits.
selling fried chicken. So I
Yeah,
guess
for
the assumption
people
that we
who are
loved
taking
it.
long trips.
Yeah, it's an
It's a way of
inexpensive.
making money,
It's a quick, inexpensive meal. Fried chicken ain't.
You don't think nothing.
Can you fry chicken?
No.
Because you don't want to. Because you're an intelligent young man. Here it is. You done hooked up this podcast.
But
There's
here's
microphones
another
everywhere.
thing.
It's a blender. It's a laptop. We on the screen over there, and you can't fry chicken.
But here's another thing.
That's because you don't want to fry chicken.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because-
pretty much.
Which pivots us back to the problem. You don't see value in home economics.
And here's another thing though. The youngest
I see
one-
value in it.
My youngest son, younger
Personal
than
value.
this one here,
This
can
one here?
fried chicken.
He can fry chicken.
Fried chicken last night. He can cook. He cooks his behind off.
Does he wear the Hugh Hefner robe when he doing that?
Yeah.
Yes.
He do that doing everything.
What's up, Joe? How you feeling? You know I
So
got
he
jokes.
does cook. The eldest and the youngest cook. Larry just really didn't.
Because you
didn't
found
have
no value in
interest.
that.
Yeah.
So I'm a segue to you, 20 something, because our man Papa's not here. When you're looking for a lady, possibly to move forward with, maybe move in with, whatever it is you consider your relationship, is there any value to you that she knows how to cook and clean?
We ain't really good. Not too much cook. I ain't really cook.
Yeah. Okay. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't clean. I can't. I'm not the best at cleaning either.
But the dishes, you can do the dishes. I don't really.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Dishwasher.
Well, if you're gonna cook, that's fine. Yeah, do the dishes. But that's what I'm saying. I don't really think the generation finds value. These young girls don't be knowing how to cook. So I don't know if it's the mothers didn't teach them or they find no value in it because it's so easy to get a meal.
Yeah.
We got like 7 different options within walking distance of here. And then we got DoorDash for the shit that ain't in walking distance from here. So why do I need to learn how to cook?
Yeah, I guess you have a point there, but
I don't know if it's a negative thing, is what I'm saying.
like I said, on my reverse trip home, by the time, I remember one night in particular where you had to take the bus on the Ave.
Jamaica Avenue, Queens, New York.
That side street.
Quick shout out.
Yeah, that side street where you took the orange bus.
Yeah, the other buses.
You know? So right there was a barbershop. And so I would take them to get their haircuts right
In the
there.
barbershop, okay.
So now, you know, okay, well, we just gonna stop at the barbershop on the way home, get the haircuts, because it's right there by the bus stop, and then head on back home.
That's some real single parent shit you're talking about right
Yeah.
there.
And then,
And I guarantee you, their father has no idea you was going through all that.
he probably doesn't. We've
I know.
never discussed it.
Because when you're
And
young,
he
you ain't
was
thinking about that.
definitely in their lives.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm definitely not calling him a deadbeat dad. From what I know about him, he's active in their lives.
Yeah.
But I bet he has no knowledge of what you were doing. You were like 22 at the time, 23 maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe no. In fact,
Yeah.
you're a little older because they're 6 and 4. So that made you like 27.
No.
You're 26.
I don't know.
I'm
I
not.
had Al when I was 18.
Nah, but you're like.
So he's like 6. So you're like
Yeah, you got 20 years
So
on
I got
it.
like
So
20,
yeah, she'd be
24.
26.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I've always found that interesting that by like 24, you was a full-fledged little, not even babies, you got toddlers and
Yeah.
you're taking them to school and you're picking them up and you're working. Because as men, we don't pay that no attention. That all that it takes to take care of them kids on a day-to-day basis. Like a lot of guys think they can just send money and
Yeah.
just show up on the weekends and pick them up when it's time for them to play basketball or
Yeah.
something that we
Yeah.
find interesting, where we can live vicariously through their actions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we don't even think about who's picking them up, who's dressing them, who's bathing them, who's putting them to bed,
Yeah.
who's clothing them. You know what I'm saying? Who's picking them up from school?
And then, so now after like those getting home about 7, 8, I got off right there,
Yeah,
the promenade.
yeah, I remember.
So the
Promenade
McDonald's-
Projects.
The
Flushing
McDonald's was
Queens.
right there.
Right. It's still
So now, yeah. Okay, so it's so late. Okay, Happy Meals. So then we would come to the house with the Happy Meals, and now it's time to do homework. So y'all can eat while you do homework.
that's a lot, man.
And then by that time, now time to get y'all cleaned up so you can get in the bed. And I remember one night, and I think it might have been that night, I laid down, I was like, it's like 10 o'clock and I'm so tired, I'm out. And
Drained, emotionally, physically.
And then it's like, did you eat? All of that, and I hadn't eaten anything.
You eat a Happy Meal?
No, I didn't get.
Probably one of the worst things you could feed your kids.
Yeah. And at that age, I wasn't even thinking like that. It was just something quick. So, you know,
We're in the age of information now.
yeah. Yeah.
And
before-
nobody has information.
Yeah, if we didn't have computers, everybody didn't have a computer at their fingertips.
Yeah.
And so, and I was so tired, I was like, oh, when you gonna eat? And I'm just having this conversation with myself. And I'm like, I'm too tired to eat. I'll eat in the morning. You know,
I feel
I'll
it.
grab
It ain't-
something in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm not a breakfast eater, so 9 times out of 10, I grab something around lunchtime.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens. Like, and I think that's part of the. I'm not talking about anybody. Because Uncle Fast is overweight too.
Yeah.
That's part of the bad health
Yeah.
of America.
Yep.
The fast food.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of preservative in it. A lot of this. Part of me going through my whole type 2 diabetes journey is about just not eating right and being on the corner where it's a Chinese restaurant over there, it's a pizza parlor over there, they make hero sandwiches over there, and that was my whole meal. We get up in the morning, it was a deli that used to be, shout out to Beavis Bacon, Egg and Cheese on 109 and Farm. Beaver used to make, and then Beaver was Jamaican and didn't sell pork. So it was beef sausage, egg and cheese. And that was breakfast. We come out, we got a
But
cup
you know
of
what? It
coffee.
was healthier.
I guess, I mean,
Think about it. It's healthier than the processed food. You know, they was using
Yeah,
real
true.
eggs and,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So So it was better than the processed food from McDonald's where you hit the drive-through.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about it. And it was
And
cheap.
a lot of the bread that we were eating there was fresh bread.
It was fresh, yeah. It was pretty fresh.
Yeah, so
Yeah. And we used to, and then in the evening, Beavers made hamburgers. So we might do that. We might
No, that
all
was
get
the thing we
together and
did.
hit up Steak in the Pocket. Remember Steak in the Pocket on Merritt? The Muslim joint with the
I mean,
chop.
I
With
just think the food
the
in
pita
the-
bread, and they chop up the beef and put it in the pita bread. It's called Steak in the Pocket. Yeah, oh my God, Steak in the Pocket. And then we go order a couple of pieces. This is us on the
Listen,
corner
what I say
eating
about
greasy
grease,
food
like,
all
grease right now.
day
Yeah.
long.
But that was our
And then
thing,
drinking
like-
40 ounces of beer. Just that's what we did all day long. And then when the night fell, we drinking liquor.
yeah.
This is our balanced meal. You know what I'm saying? We doing a bacon egg. We doing a bacon egg and cheese or beef sausage, egg and cheese in the morning.
Yeah, and that's
We
why a
doing-
lot of, and you know what, honestly, that's why a lot of us knows, peace out to all y'all still in New York, with this diabetic stuff going
Yeah.
on.
And people don't know because they don't go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I was lucky to, with all my shenanigans, I had a state job. I literally, it was so funny. Two things. I'd use Mel Bell. I was in a barbershop one day. I went to the barbershop on my lunch break. Not true. I had bumped into Mel Bell. And I was like, yo, where you going? He's like, yo, I'm trying to get down here. He like, where you coming from? I said, I'm coming from work. He like, yo, you got a job? I was like, what? I said, yeah, I work for Creedmoor Psych Center. Really? How long? I said, like 15 years. Get out of here. Hey, yo, I thought, and you know, this is Mel Bell's line one. I thought you was all about the 1 2 1 2. I said, nah, nigga, you gotta have a 3. 1 2 ain't enough. So he started laughing. You gotta have multiple streams of income. He was like, yo, you the best that ever did it. I like, okay, well, that's your opinion. I'll accept it. I don't agree, but it's fine. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm in a psych unit. Of course, you know that. And one of these young boys that used to, I'll leave all the residents out. I ran a tournament in a park, and one of these kids played for the tournament. So he might have been 12, 13 years old in the tournament. He's in his 20s now. He come through the hospital. So we outside messing around. And you know, all he knows is my street name. He like, yo, Fats, what you doing here? And I said, I work here. He said the same shit. You got a job? I'm like, well, I don't tell no, I got a job. Like, don't everybody got a job? But no. So I got health care. I'm going to the doctor twice a year. I'm going to the dentist. I got eyeglass covered. But think about, it's a lot of cats that's running the streets with no health insurance. So they don't even see the value of spending a couple $100 to go get a checkup and see what's going on because they don't have the money.
And then you got some with health care. And
And
still,
stuff.
I gotta be pressed
Yeah.
to go to the doctor.
Gotta be sick.
Do your yearly, do everything.
Yeah.
I
You
think
know
that's more of a guy thing.
You know, they used to make me go to the doctor. I call in sick, and you stay out for more than 3 days. You gotta have a doctor to get back. I'm like, well, I gotta make an appointment because I ain't going back till next week.
But you know what? I don't know, like, back to women in this day and age, and if we taught our daughters and our sons, because once you had a household, men, you know, you need that partnership. You need that partnership.
We was just talking about that, right?
You need the partnership, and just like he said earlier, like, okay, she has to know how to clean. I can do the cooking, but if she doesn't know how to clean nor cook, what's your role? And I hate to even say it like this. My mind just goes so crazy. So
Spit it out there. We'll table it.
you'll clean it up.
That's my job.
Okay,
I'm the
so
cleaner. Spit it.
It don't matter how it comes out, just
lay
let it
it
free.
down can't be your only job.
50 Cent said some funny shit one time. He was on the Breakfast Club. I think it was the Breakfast Club. I find his comments sometimes very entertaining. He said, if all you bring to the table is some beauty, eventually you're going to do some whole shit.
And that shit, let me tell you, my mother said,
That was 50 Cent. That's it. Maybe not a direct quote, but he says, if all you bring to the table is your beauty, you're eventually going to do some whole shit. And I was like, wow.
my mother said that my stepdad had said one time when they were starting dating, I guess they had a conversation, that he said, show me a beautiful woman and I'll show you a man that's tired of screwing her.
It's biblical from Proverbs. Beauty is fleeting,
Yes,
but a virtuous woman.
yes,
So
Yes.
virtuous is in value. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can think. I mean, I'm not comparing women or men to cars, but you can dream about this car. Get the car. 2 years down the line,
Yep.
you're dreaming about a whole nother car.
yep,
Because you're used to that car. I've seen that car every day, and I do what I did in that car. You know what? Let's say it's a sports car. Now you want an SUV. You know, man, I want to get an SUV. Let's say you got a sports car. I think I would prefer a luxury car. You know,
Yeah.
and you know, not exact science there, but in general, after a while, it loses its value because you expect everything to always bring you joy,
right,
when you should really appreciate when something does bring you joy, even in a relationship. Like, I expect to be attracted to my wife at all time instead of
Right.
valuing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that way, if you don't get it, or in that moment you don't find that heavy attraction, that you're not
how about this?
blaming her for that.
Do this generation, and I know y'all touched on this before, but okay, so if, you know, the value, well, I ain't gotta cook, I ain't gotta clean, I'll get a housekeeper, I'll, you know, order food and blah, blah, blah. You know, they still gotta take care of me, da, da, da. Why? Because you laying up that. But do they find value in marriage and being together? Sure,
they?
people get divorced, but
Well, here's my issue with that, right?
and
Not
us
with
as
what
a
you say.
community,
Not with what you're saying, or even your opinion of what you're saying. I'm not even sure they know what men find valuable. I don't even think some men know what they find value in. Where we at on time?
Oh,
we
nah, we're
passed
like,
that half
yeah.
an hour after we
All right, because
started.
I gotta.
We can finish this whole train
Yeah,
of thought
that's fine.
and we'll
Because I
step
got
into
a great topic, and we'll prep it, and then we'll do another clip.
All right.
I'm not even sure they know what's valuable. Here's my thing. If you're saying all I bring to the table is beauty and intimacy, find a man that's what they want.
Right.
I just need a woman to bring beauty and intimacy. I got everything else. So I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, because you may find a guy who want to succeed, have that. There might be a unicorn out there, you know what I'm saying? Well, there might be a rare breed. Let me not call them a unicorn because they don't exist. But, there are men who's comfortable with that. So you have to go find that guy. But the problem is there's masses of young ladies that think they're going to find that guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's really masses or are the people that think that way so vocal. Because in order to find that guy, you got to be seen. So how do you get seen?
Right.
You're provocative.
Right.
And you trying to attract that energy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way you're going to find those guys, is if you project yourself. Like, how you going to find a ball player if you never go to the basketball game? If you're not at All-Star Weekend?
Right.
If you're not at such and such's party? And then so you find yourself, so now you're at that party and you're trying to stand out from all the other young ladies there,
But
thinking the same thing you thinking.
But what do you have to do? That's my thing. What do you have to do? And can you live with yourself after you do whatever it is you feel like you have to do to be seen? Because you always have to look in that mirror. Are you okay?
I mean,
with that?
that's.
I think that the thing is,
Or do they just not care?
I mean, it's personal. I don't want to make a
care
sweeping statement saying they don't care. Sometimes they don't believe that I can do all this for you and you would still dog me. Sometimes they're okay with it as long as they gain whatever they're gaining out of the relationship, as far as a couple of dinners, a couple of trips, a couple of front row seats. I don't know what it is, and it's not really on me to judge them for their behavior. But time is the ultimate truth teller.
Yeah.
So you're in your 20s, and it's kind of working. In your 30s, you kind of got it a little refined, and you don't make the blunders you used to make. In your 40s, you're going, wow. You know, and they were talking about body count before. I mean, that's a man's personal preference. You don't want a young lady with a high body count. That's fine. And ladies, if you don't mind having a high body count, that's fine. That's on y'all. I really don't have no choice. If you want my opinion, I don't want a young lady with a high body count. But I'm almost not answering that question.
Right.
I don't even know if I would ask that question. You know, is that when do you have that conversation when you were free and single?
I know that was a conversation we had. It wasn't like kind of like that blunt or that out with it, but we did discuss previous relationships. Yeah, that forward.
Okay.
So we did have a discussion on previous
But
relationships.
do men really, I mean, do they really care about body count, or do they just not want to be out with you at the movies and here come 15 dudes and you done slept with all of them? They all know you. Like, hey, what up, girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's case they don't want to just be with somebody and, you know, you go out and next thing you know everybody.
Here's the conundrum. You want her to be talented, but you don't want her to be the trained. So you want to be the trainer. I'm comfortable if that's, you know, you're going to teach her how to pleasure your body. And she's a willing participant in learning. She sees value in learning how to please her man. I'm fine. But if you meet a young lady and she seems to be quite adept at pleasing you, your first thought is, okay, that wasn't your first rodeo, pal. like how did you, how come you're very good at this? Like you've been practicing your foul shots.
I gotta show you this.
You've been foul shots for quite a number of years now, because you're proficient at this here.
I gotta show you this little video I seen, and this dude was trying to persuade her into fellatio. That's probably the word I should stick with. And
fellatio, we know what it is.
Oh no, I don't know if any of the viewers are gonna know what that means.
Look it up. Look it up.
Because I actually had to explain that to somebody at work what that word meant.
Pleasuring your woman horribly.
So she was like, "Oh, it's my first time doing it. I don't know what I'm doing." But then she went like this, put her hair in a ponytail.
Oh, there's another way. She was.
Yeah, he was trying to convince her, like, if you do this for me, and she's like, "I don't know what I'm doing." I was like, put her hair in a ponytail. And then he was like,
she had a scrunchie that she was wearing as a wristlet, and when you asked her that, she stuck her hair over there, grabbed her hair in a ponytail with the quickness and put it on, and said she didn't know what she was doing.
Right, and then went, and he was like,
hit him with the golf 3000.
Yeah.
Got you. I mean,
so I think that's because I think that's the main issue, right? I mean, would you want to go around, you know, well,
my
you're a
thing was,
man, but think back, way back.
I didn't get married till I was
way back.
I didn't get married till I was 40.
But that's what I mean. So did you want to be with? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a teacher.
But the thing is, like,
you
just don't want to be around. Okay, like here comes some guy, and you know what I'm saying, and you know,
men in general are big on respect.
That part.
So if they feel like you're an extension of them, like as my girl, you're an extension of me, and if they're disrespecting you, they're disrespecting me. So I think that becomes a bigger issue. Not that we mad that they are experienced. We're more mad that people can clown me.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they was with my girl.
Because that's the thing I was going to point out earlier, is that respect is not and reputation is kind of a thing for us. Yeah. So if me and my boy and had the same girl and I'm dating her, like, now he could say some stuff about it. Like, I'm not going to appreciate
I
that.
learned it in my teens and back to, like you saying, the older generation. So one day I went to see, when I was dating Young Father, I went to go see him, but his mom and dad had went to run an errand. And when I think it was the next time I was over there, she sat me down and she said, well, we weren't home. And she said, I trust you and I trust him. But she said, the way it looks to the neighbors, you don't want your reputation tarnished like that. You were here and the car's not parked in front of the house, so they know that mom and dad is not there. You know, like you don't want your reputation tarnished.
I feel you.
Because apparently someone had to tell her I was there.
Yeah.
You know, and that means neighbors saw. So in that, I will never forget that, and I carried myself based off that.
And it's so funny because this generation is like, well, Karen need to mind her business.
Right. There you go.
And at the end of the day, your personal opinion of me is none of my business. I really don't care what you think about me. I care if you respect me. And you know what? I take that back. I don't even care if you respect me. I care if you show me respect when we're engaging. Even if you don't speak to me, that's okay. I don't consider that disrespectful. Like we don't engage. We ain't, and that's some real New York energy right there.
Yeah.
Like we will literally walk by close corners and not speak to each other.
Right.
And it's so different down here. Like people, hey, how you doing? I'm like, okay. And it kind of throws me off. But you know, in general, do you really care what other people think about you? And how much value do you place on what other people think about you? I heard a quote. You'll get over what other people think about you when you realize how little they do.
Right. And you know what? I get that, but in my mind, like back then, you know, like you said, that New York energy, I did not want to be considered a hoe by anybody. Yeah. And at that point in time, I was still a virgin, and I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like, you know, people might be thinking I'm, you know, doing those type of things.
Do you know how? Do you know?
I did it myself.
No. I mean, this is for the 20-something generation right now. Do you know how old you sound right now?
I know.
The most popular women in the hip hop field want to be perceived as promiscuous.
Yeah.
I was eating the nigga's ass. Like what?
I mean,
and little girls just running around singing that,
yeah.
And I'm like, even if let's say you're not doing it, right? That's not your thing. You ain't tossing salads. That's not your thing. But you like the song and the energy.
Yeah.
You have no issue with walking around singing a song, even though you don't indulge in that delicacy. But you have no, you know what I'm saying? This whole generation is wild with that. Like they're okay with it. So what you're saying is valid for our generation.
Yeah, I know,
but for this generation, they do not give a damn.
But why don't you care anymore? Why do we not care anymore?
Here's my new theory. Luxury. A luxury is something that's nice to have, but you don't need it. That's almost pretty much a makeshift definition of luxury. Why is a luxury? You would like to understand why, but you're not always going to get why.
Right.
So you have to learn to be comfortable with whatever they're doing and not understanding why.
Right.
Because you know what's going to happen when they give you the why? You're going to be like this. That shit don't make no sense. And really what it is, that shit don't make no sense. It's not a complete sentence. That shit don't make no sense to you.
Right.
It makes plenty of sense to them.
Yeah,
or at least they try to pretend like it do. Right. So as opposed to me sounding like the old get off my lawn guy, I just mind my business. And if you're comfortable in that element, and it's hard enough for me to raise my own kids. I got 6 adult kids from 23 to 37. Just think about that. Let's put that thought together. My son is 23 and my oldest daughter is 37. And in the middle, I got some other shit. I got 25, 28,
But you know
33,
what?
35, and 37.
But the thing
Straight
is,
adults.
and I guess with all of that being said, I never, and because I have this conversation, you know, when I work with kids, you know, the kids, some of the young ladies.
We're going to wrap this one up.
Yeah, like, don't you want, you know, how do you feel? I never wanted to disappoint my mother. And that took precedence over everything. I just did not want to disappoint my mother.
You know what the problem is now?
I'm real old.
No, Mama in the club too. Mama's singing.
Y'all fighting for the same
What's
man right
what's
now.
the girl name? Mama's singing Sookie too. They're so busy trying to be accepted by that generation as opposed to trying to educate that generation. Like you want to be accepted, and we all kind of get caught in that. Even the way you dress,
But
like
you know what?
I don't want to be viewed as the old dude, so
And
I
you
try
know
to
what
wear
the crazy
what I
thing
find
is?
acceptable for me that they like.
Because some of these kids, and they are literally kids, they are concerned about their reputation. But they really don't realize it until,
Are they?
yeah, because then they'll say, well, they said this about me, and I didn't like when they said this. Oh, but that's regarding your reputation. So you are concerned about your reputation.
Well, here's the thing. Who likes the mirror? The mirror tells the truth. So if you got a reputation from doing something or the perceivement of doing something, that's a mirror.
Yeah.
You're like, look, this is what your behavior says to me. And you're like this. No, that's not true. I'm not saying it's true, but the mirror says, when you're looking at that picture,
Yeah.
what you think? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cross generations.
All right, hit that like and subscribe. I don't even know how to end it right now. That was,
Just like and subscribe.
Don't overthink it.
yeah, that,
Shut it down.
Don't overthink. We're gonna look back at these early tapes,
Yeah.
and be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we were that bad."
right.
And
That's
it's like shooting jump
solved
shot.
it, right.
It's like
Would you just what? She just cut in front of the. Not even done. Let's
just leave it because it's funny. Because I'm telling you, we're gonna look back at this and it's gonna be hilarious. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's all right. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys for joining us. Please hit that like and subscribe.
Oh, you didn't sign me?
No.
I bet you did.
And I still have it. It's just cut me off in the middle of my thing. All right. All right. Just hit the like and subscribe. We'll catch you guys next time.